This is Record Royale, where we throw two albums into the ring with one another and see which one comes out on top. Hey, welcome. Episode 4, Record Royale, baby. We've made it 4 episodes in. That's nearly a full month. Big one today. We have 2 guests. We're going to get straight into the guests. Ooh. Our 2 good friends. 2 members of Craterface. We got Chaff. We got Harry. Boys, hey. Cue thunderous applause. Let's add that effect in when we go. How's it going?
Good.
We're
good.
We're good too. Brad, Adam, how are you?
Very good.
I'm swell.
Very excited to talk this week.
I'm sweating.
Have you guys brought up Brad's fisheye effect before?
No, we don't. So obviously no one can see it listening, but we're all on Skype with our normal Joe cameras. Brad's got this big fisheye lens on.
Looking good as hell.
It looks real good.
That's go shoot a skate clip or something.
Yeah. I got it for free. You just got to pay postage, and it's held up very well. Aye.
Also, I've been looking at the last week on the show. I mentioned where we have listeners from, and there was one from France, and there was a couple from America. I just want to see if shout out to the boy from Akron, LeBron James, or System of a Down members are listening. So if you are, please give us a shout out on the socials at Record Royale.
The actual members, just System of a Down.
Hey, so every time we get a guest on this show, this is the first one. Very, very stoked. We're going to be letting the guests pick the albums that we listen to and compare. And this week, the first one, the boys from Craterface have chosen Travis Scott's Rodeo and Lil Ugly Mane, Mista Thug, Isolation. Boys, why did you choose those two? Any particular reason?
I chose Mr. Thug Isolation. I don't know, it's just a classic for me.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Mr. Thug Isolation is a classic as well, but I think initially we're gonna look at going with like a more contemporary, like a newer sort of trap record and like an older style hip hop record. I mean, we're always gonna do 2 rap albums, but then we kind of thought 2 newer ones.
It did take
pit
a while
them against each other,
to land on that as well.
Yeah. Well, other considerations.
I was thinking about doing Perfect Hair by Bus Driver, but that's not really. That's not really a contemporary rap album at all.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do Mad Villain.
Yeah, and Mad Villainy.
Yeah.
But we thought that might have been like too people have spoken about that.
Yeah, you know, no one's talking about Mr. Thug Isolation in 2020 already. So we thought we'd fly back for that.
No, legit. I've had people ask me like, who and
really?
What is that? I'm like, give it a listen. Be up your alley, a lot of people.
And before we start, I cannot wait to hear your boys' opinion on these albums because you boys are all like, like guitars and drums and shit. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm keen. I'm actually keen because I've absolutely never heard of Lil Ugly Mane. Obviously heard of Travis Scott. Never listened to the album though. But I was I don't know. It was a bit of a roller coaster to listen to these albums throughout the week.
Yeah.
Like sometimes good, sometimes couldn't get into it.
Which one did you listen to first?
I listened to Rodeo first, but I just kept going back and forth. I didn't want to sit on one for too long. How'd you go, Adam and Brad?
I loved it. I'm still doing this delivery job that I was doing last week as well. So I'm just walking all day and listening to music all day.
Nice.
And this week was way easier than last week because last week we did Ariana Grande and Billie Eilish, which didn't really get the pins going. Like definitely wasn't walking very fast. A bit too relaxed. But this week, I was hitting those hills pretty hard.
Yes, sir.
So, thanks for the bags, Adam, by the way.
I loved it. Yeah, I did. I gave Brad some bags.
How do you go from Ariana to Lil Ugly Mane? That is insane.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Crazy.
That's how we do.
That's how we do.
Yeah, I loved it.
We did. We want to change up the genres. If we just kept it all the same, it would be boring for us as well and for people listening. So I like that we can listen to this different music. Hey, before we get into the albums though, let's talk about your new single Bankroll, baby.
Yes.
How'd that one come about? Was that from the Don't Be Confused recordings, or was that
it was a bit after, like just after we dropped, probably in December.
We were like riding high off, like feeling good about DBC, and I remember we made that on the spot. Has just played the keys.
Yeah, we actually made it so quick. We made it in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And like that was the basis song, and then we like barely added to it after that. And we
True.
just had it for ages, and then we're like, oh, should probably just drop it because it's got a crazy hook.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
sick. Yeah. Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, you've only been like putting out music for like just over a year, and you've smashed out a mixtape and a few singles. Do you guys like make a conscious effort to be super efficient with songwriting, or does it just come?
I don't know. It's just like it's pretty organic.
The
like,
thing is though, we're like, I would say we make 4 songs a week easily.
Yeah.
Which we love and like we will have on repeat. But you know, it's hard to pick and choose which songs go where and when to release songs. And Bankroll would never have seen the light of day if we didn't just drop it out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was never really going to belong on a project. It was just kind of a standalone thing. So
Yeah, right.
Sick.
That's weird that because you used to play that on the the Shady tour. You guys played that.
Yeah, we've been
because
playing
it's
it
such a
live
fun
for ages.
song,
Yeah. Yeah, it was
A lot
one
of
of my
people
personal
just knew
favorites.
it.
Playing
Yeah,
it
a lot
when
of
you
people
guys
just
played
knew
live.
it from like
Yeah.
the live show too.
The
How
hook
was
is sick.
how was the Shady Nasty tour? So, back
it
in
was-
February, was it?
Yeah, February. It
late
was so
Those are
good.
the bros. They're
Yeah.
the best.
It was insane. It was so fun.
Brad came.
Brad was there, yeah. Brad was along for the ride.
Got pissed
That-
every day. It was
Every
lovely.
night.
Every night.
How is the dynamic touring with them? Because they're like, a more of a band than you
Yeah,
guys. So
they-
how was that dynamic? The shows.
It was like pretty. I don't know. I feel like because they're so like alternate sounding. They kind of it like works to have like a hip hop act on the bill. But they do get like your classic hardcore fan that will just like rock up to every show of theirs, like just standing at the side like arms crossed. But it's like nice. Like,
I will say this about touring with them. It was they kind of taught us like tour and show etiquette a little bit.
yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we've never played back-to-back shows before, so it was a good learning.
Actually, Kevin gave us the best like vocal warm up.
Yeah, he actually did. Yeah, he helped.
Give us what is it? Give us a tease.
Oh yeah.
Oh, classic.
Just on air, you know.
Yeah.
It helps.
That's a theater company.
Yeah.
When you guys played in Newcastle, it felt like you were almost even though it was definitely different genres, but it felt like it fit really well.
Yeah, I think that's the good.
Like
why
it
they
didn't
like
seem
touring
out of
with
place
us.
at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's perfect. I couldn't think of a better group to do our first tour with.
Well, they have heaps of like hip hop elements in their songs.
Yeah,
anyway.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before the lockdown, did you have any show plans?
We were approached to do a little mini, like 3 shows with rave tapes.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah,
I
that was
went
all
to
we
shit,
had.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
but, you know, we were approached. We didn't agree.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
we're just starting to learn the like process of playing shows and shit too, and like riding a high horse big time for all that. But what can you do?
Yeah, that's alright. When
Yeah.
everything blows over, there'll be shows 7 days a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
exactly. We just
it'd be
gotta
sweet.
patient. Yeah.
I was on your Instagram page, and I stumbled across that video of when you're on Omegle, and you're like, are you playing your beats? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the funniest vid.
The people on Omegle loved it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that one guy was like,
Yeah, he was actually vibing so hard. I was like, that was like first take too. Like we didn't really do that
that's all.
more than once. We just got Omegle
Nah.
up, filmed it once.
There was a guy with a gun as well, just pointing his
Yeah.
gun at us.
Oh,
That's all.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
Swoosh.
is that what song was that on the video? Was it unreleased? Or was that
Yeah, that's probably. I don't even know where. To be honest, I don't. Yeah.
We
I
make,
think that's
as I said,
gone.
we make like
It's
4
gone,
songs
I
a
think,
week.
that song.
So that song's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
Hey,
out to
these-
Oh no, go ahead.
Nah, who's the shout out to? We give
Oh well,
20
we
shout outs a show.
all right. We have a fan in Byron named Mott,
And
and he choked me and said, "Drop that song or I'll keep
Yeah.
choking." He was like grabbing me by the neck, and he's crazy. But shout out to Mott, salute.
Yeah, that's Mott,
That's the
yeah.
day one.
Shout
Was that
out.
Brad?
Is that crazy guy at the Byron show?
Hey, he
Yeah.
wasn't. Hey, he
Saw
wasn't
it at the
crazy.
back.
That's my boy.
All
That's
his
my
mates,
boy.
remember that guy?
He
in
gave us all the
overalls?
beers. Yeah.
His mates were crazy. He was grounded. He was 10 toes down.
He was. Yeah. He was drained.
Yeah, he was drained.
Hey, these 2 albums, Rodeo and Mr. Thug Isolation. Do you reckon you'd pull any influences from these 2?
Yes, I'd
Yeah,
say
big time.
hugely from both.
Cool.
Definitely.
Like production wise, or
Yeah,
just like everything.
Oh, like everything about them.
I'll
I can definitely hear some in.
Yeah.
with Mr. Thug Isolation, like, you guys all listen to it, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, no.
but
Hope
like,
so.
he's the way it taught me like to when I'm writing lyrics, it's okay to be fucking super vulgar and disgusting.
Yeah.
And like say the most off the wall ridiculous shit, and it can still be coherent and kind of artistic, you know?
Hey, that's legit. I mean, I probably like consciously noticed it more because I knew you guys were coming on the show, but when I listened to that album, I heard like the lyrics are just like killing and just all this ridiculous stuff. It did remind me of you, Chaff, as well.
Yeah.
Hey, should we get into the details of these bad boys?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's hear
All right,
it.
we'll kick it off. We'll do Rodeo first. So,
Yes, sir.
Rodeo, debut album from, at the time, 23-year-old Travis Scott from Houston, Texas. I knew that because he's always at the Rockets games, well, sometimes at the Rockets games.
23. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was 23 at the time. Released on September 4th, 2015 through Grand Hustle Records and distributed by Epic Records. We've mentioned Epic before. They released Rage Against the Machine's first album and stuff from ABBA, Celine Dion. So pretty big. They're still kicking it as well. But Grand Hustle was...
what's that?
Yeah, Grand Hustle was founded by rapper T.I.
Yeah.
does
On the first track.
He's on the first track, yeah.
And the last.
Yeah, and in 2003, it's released albums from T.I., all three of Travis Scott's albums, and B.O.B.
Well, I think T.I.
Oh,
discovered
nice.
him, didn't he? Apparently. I read somewhere.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
I know he was like Kanye.
Yeah, he has a
used
lot
him
of
for
Kanye.
production.
Like Kanye was big in his come up.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Who knows?
Yeah, but yeah, the record label, the Grand Hustle, hadn't really released like that much stuff, but they're still putting out music. That might just be more of T.I.'s thing.
Yeah.
So it was produced by Scott himself, as well as, just to name a few, Alan Ritter, Mike Dean, Metro Boomin, Frank Duke, Sonny Digital, and Wonder Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just list off a few of these. Ritter's worked on like Drake's Drake album, Jamie Foxx. Mike Dean's worked with Kanye, Beyonce,
Everyone,
Frank
yeah, Mike
Ocean,
Dean's a legend.
Kid See Ghost.
Yeah.
Frank Dukes, Post Malone, Lord. So you
I
know.
would say Mike Dean's like sound like almost makes this album. Like
Yeah, I
if you
agree
listen to
with
other
that.
Kanye stuff that he's produced. Like
Has
the
he
stuff
produced
does with
all of
synth.
it? All of Kanye's
He's
stuff? Or?
produced like heaps of Kanye stuff. He has like a very specific like sound that he uses a lot, like with his synths and stuff, and it's all over this album.
Sometimes it's like when we say produce as well, he's doing a lot of executive production. So like just adding the smallest shit. But
Yeah,
that
yeah.
little spice, you can tell it's some Mike Dean.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's sick. Album features guest appearances from... I'm probably going to butcher these names, so please stop me.
Toro Imwa. When you get to that, it's Toro
Yeah.
Imwa.
Toro Iwan, we're going to say one first. Schoolboy Q, Young Thug, Justin Bieber, Kanye West, Chief Keef, Swiley, The Weeknd, Casey Hill, Juicy J, 2 Chainz, Future, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Quavo or Quavo?
Yeah,
Quavo.
Quavo. I knew it. I was so close. Quavo. Quava. Yeah, so it's a fair few.
That's stacked. When you put it like that, I've
never
Well, that's
read
like
it.
the
Yeah.
first thing I noticed when you get up on Spotify. Pretty much every song nearly had a feature. So
Yeah, that's heaps.
that was like one of the first things I noticed. There was 2 singles released both before the album was dropped. Do you pronounce it 3500 or
Yes,
3500?
yeah.
3500. Yeah, cool. And
He says it in the
Antidote,
song, Will.
3500 peaked at number 82 on the Billboard charts, and Antidote peaked at number 16 on the US Billboard charts. Album debuted at number 3 on the US Billboard charts.
Sheesh.
That's pretty big for a
That's
debut
decent.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 30 on the ARIAs here in Australia. And then by 2017 it had gone platinum in the States.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. Did you know, like, did his albums after this go to number 1?
Astro World would have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if Birds.
Yeah.
Birds
It
would
knocked
track
off
it.
Nicki Minaj, didn't it? And then she kicked up a stink about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. She's right.
She went crazy.
That's crazy.
True.
Yeah.
Didn't know that one.
Yeah, well.
All right. Do you guys have anything to add about this album, like facts about it or anything?
I think you got it all pretty good.
I would say it was Travis Scott's first body of work that was good by a long shot.
You
What did
like
he
his
do
early
before
mix-
this?
Nah.
Mixtapes.
He has like people like his early mixtapes.
He did
a lot.
Al Faro, which was like a smaller thing, and
Yeah.
then he did Days Before,
Days Before
Radio,
Radio, yeah.
which has like
There's some crazy
4
tracks.
good songs.
Yeah.
How many songs was on that? Like 8 or something.
Yeah.
More, I
True.
think.
That's cool that he had the hindsight to call it Days Before Rodeo, and then
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
sick,
bring
right?
Rodeo and just make it even bigger and better.
Yeah. I feel like this was definitely his first like body of work that kind of brought him out as a really like influential artist.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right, let's move over to Lil Ugly Mane. Yeah, Mr. Thug Isolation debut record from Lil Ugly Mane. It's from Richmond, Virginia. Pretty random, pretty cool.
Yeah, random.
Yeah, released on February 11th, 2012 by Hundibis. Is it Hundibis Records?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, because they're an Italian record label.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that.
There you
They're
go.
still
I didn't
pressing
even
it as
know
well.
that.
And they did a fifth pressing like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're still
yeah.
doing it.
That's so nice.
So they have releases with. Let me know if you have ever heard of these. I've only listed 4: Mudboy, Jaws, Hair Police, Aaron Dillaway.
No.
I have no
No.
idea.
Is
Shakes
Jaws
the
a
head.
house artist or is it someone else?
They could be hardcore artists.
Yeah.
He does a lot of stuff.
He actually might be.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. So it was produced by Sean Kemp, and when I looked at it, I was like, "Who is this?" And I quickly realized that it's just Lil Ugly Mane.
Yeah, it's just
Another name that he uses. So the
Yeah.
real guy is named Travis Miller.
Oh, actually, I thought his
Yeah.
actual name was Sean Kemp.
No, that's a basketball man.
Yeah, so he's made and produced music under like 15 different names.
Yeah,
But Lil
Jesus
Ugly
Christ.
Mane's like the biggest one, and Sean Kemp is his producing name.
that's sick.
That's true.
So I thought that was heaps cool.
Yeah, so cool.
So apparently around the time of release, there was like really like minimal amounts of photos or videos of him.
Yeah, no one
And
knew he was white,
it was just
anyway.
like it was just like an enigma.
Yeah. Which
And,
makes the album all the more better. in my
Yeah, it
opinion.
does. It just gives it more of like some substance to it. It's pretty cool, and it makes sense with the music.
Yeah,
pretty
of
dope.
course, of course.
Apparently, he considered retiring the Lil Ugly Mane in 2013, but he's released singles since, but not a full length. I think maybe in a while.
He
But-
put out Oblivion Access in 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2013, 2015, yeah. But that kind of like explains maybe his underground like cult following. Do you reckon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
kinda like-
absolutely.
Been really under the radar and low key and stuff. It reminded me of in like a band context of Basement when they put out their first album and they like broke up for a bit and then everyone just loved that album so much and they came back
Yeah.
massively. So that's pretty cool. The album only has 2 features compared to Rodeo. Super Sorta Human and a 17-year-old Denzel Curry.
How crazy is that?
Oh
I can't
yeah,
wait to
so
talk
I
about
crazy.
his
that.
voice is
Such a trash
so-
verse, but
Christ.
goddamn, it's
Nah,
crazy.
I can
like, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. So it was a bit of a obviously a breakout album for him. Members of Odd Future, like Tyler Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, Left Brain, helped him promote it, particularly the song Throw Damn Guns.
Yes.
And because obviously it didn't chart or anything, the only thing I had was Anthony Fantano, the Needle Drop, ranked this album as his 191st favorite album from the 2010s. Yep.
That's
Nice.
heaps too high.
And and apparently he makes all the cover art for his
He does.
stuff.
And he used to do all the Raider Clan cover art as well. Or like a lot of it, which Raider Clan was how he got linked up with Denzel and shit back then. But
Who's
a whole
Raider
other
Clan?
thing.
What's Raider Clan?
Have you ever heard of Space Ghost Perp?
His
I
name
haven't,
did come
no.
up a bit when I was looking into this.
Yeah. He's like a very controversial and kind of polarizing rap artist who like made an internet group called Raider Clan from like different states. There was like Raider Clan West, Raider Clan North, you know, and like heaps and heaps of artists. But yeah, they fell off and like
Yeah, I
shit
feel
got
like
a bit-
Space Ghost Perp was one of the first people to like bring that like Memphis-y sort of sound
yeah,
to the
Back.
internet.
well,
Right.
the funky
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah,
the
that
internet.
funky stuff.
True.
Other than
That's
Ugly
dope.
Man. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. That's all I got for Lil Ugly Man. You got anything else, Chaff? It was hard to, because I've never heard of him before. It's hard to dig up some stuff. He's such an enigma.
Well, yeah, he had always. Am I at the point where I can talk on the production and stuff?
Yeah, we'll just
Yeah,
segue
yeah.
into that right now. Let's talk about
The element.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, the production is like, as we were saying, is very Memphis influenced and like funk music, but the way he kind of flips those classic like Memphis vocal samples and hooks and shit, it was like so unique, and the way he programs these hats and snares is insane. Like the beats are crazy, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
and nothing had ever been done like that before. And the fact that no one knew who he was or what he looked like or like how professional and legit he was makes it even cooler, I reckon. At the time, it was insane.
Yeah. I found like all the beats, like the instruments super, like there was such a weird but heaps good mix between like heavy and melodic and like light and
heaps
grimy
like
all at the same time.
jazzy samples too, but like.
And then you get to the interlude "Alone and Suffering," which is the most beautiful instrumental ever.
That was one of the highlights.
Yeah, you can cry to that on any day.
Yeah.
Legit. Any day.
I think I cried to that this morning.
But yeah, the production is just, to me, like all-timer.
I think, this is some of my favorite, like, just beats I've heard in a long time. And I think, especially with your, like, earlier stuff, Taki, like your Good Morning EP, I don't know whether you like that anymore or whatever. I think I can hear some influence.
I was definitely listening to heaps of Ugly Mane when I made that.
Yeah. I rate it.
He has heaps of other beat tapes too. He has like his sampling is really, really, really good.
It's so unique, and he uses FL.
Really?
Among like analog.
FL demo.
He should have an MPC. FL demo.
He
makes the tracks in one
sitting.
One sitting. That's how I edit the pod, in one sitting.
Not
even joking as well.
But yeah.
What about? Yeah, you go, Chaff.
I was just gonna reiterate how groundbreaking the production was, because it met between, at that stage, A$AP Rocky and shit was like loosely affiliated with Raider Clan as well, and I feel like he borrows that sound a little bit and combines it with the funk sound in a way that's just, it still hasn't been done the same way, honestly.
So
not that I listened to like a heap of this type of music, but it was definitely like I've never heard anything similar to his beats.
Probably never again will, honestly.
Yeah.
This came out in 2012, right?
Yeah, early 2012.
XXYYXX's album came out in 2012 as well. And I feel like there's like... Is there any similarities between these two? Or like any correlation? Do you guys know?
It's crazy. I've never thought about that. But like the density in the samples, you know how the samples are
I think it's just the sampling that makes it... Yeah.
I've never listened to that XXYXX album.
It's crazy. Both made on FL, so maybe that's,
That's the key.
That's
I mainly thought that when I heard what was it, Wishmaker? I think. I was like,
it's a great track.
Don't you wish you?
Crazy.
What about Rodeo? Production on Rodeo.
Harrison?
Yeah. What I like about it, actually, it's actually got a lot in like similar to Mr. Thug Isolation in that it's like really contextual to like where it's from and stuff like that, or like it has like it's got that like really struggy like psychedelic Houston sound, like chop and screw sort of stuff, which I guess is a little similar to Ugly Mane. But it's also very, very like pretty, and I just love like the instrumentals and stuff. It's like so beautiful.
Has Travis Scott ever worked with Kid Cudi?
Yeah, he's like a massive Kid Cudi fan.
I got so many Kid Cudi vibes from so many songs on this album.
He's said that he's hugely influenced by Kid Cudi.
Yeah, like heaps of layered melodies and
and the good thing about Travis Scott, like to me, is he knows when to like step back and let and let like the song just be like a crazy instrumental or something.
That's such a good point.
He's just like another instrument. Like he just knows how to ride the beat as well.
I agree with that.
That's a great point.
Completely.
I
the
like
way he uses his voice as like a melody, like a guitar.
He's so good at like
he's
melodies.
the master of melodies.
Yeah, he's really, really good at melodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that there was like 6-7 minute songs on this as well.
Yeah, there's some long songs.
3,500.
3,500 was the single, and it goes for like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
so ambitious.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I liked it when I was listening to the album better when there wasn't so much layers on the vocals though. Like some songs I thought like were a bit overcooked.
Can we have an example?
Even though it's probably like I'll just spoiler, it's probably my favorite song on the album. What's it got? Oh My Diss Side? Is that
is the best song.
Yeah.
That is so good. But then there's parts in the song where it's just like ridiculously like
Am I allowed
layers.
to disagree?
I kind of for sure.
Yeah.
I might have to as well. Yeah.
I don't understand how you could draw that conclusion from it being just so epic and like cavernous.
Yeah.
And reverbed out.
I actually love like how dirty that a lot of the vocals are. Like some of those big delay, like it's like heaps of
Just the biggest wall of sound.
It just kind of sounds like money. I reckon it just kind of sounds like they've just been given like unlimited amount of money and they're just like, I'll just do whatever I want.
Oh yeah,
which
but
I reckon is the best thing about
polished.
It's not overproduced.
No.
That's what I like heaps about it. It's like
I think he does have it down to a science. Like he figured it out.
Yeah, I think
all those boys in the room.
to be honest, I think a lot of that is Mike Dean as well. He's really good at like not overproducing an album.
Songs like Apple Pie, I thought they were like simple, but like really good. Like there wasn't too much going on.
Yeah, that song's weird. It's a good song though. It's got a weird groove though, like a weird.
Yeah. What about the lyrics for these ones?
To which ones?
For both the albums.
Okay, Mr. Fug. I'm kind of conflicted about Mr. Fug Isolation because like what's his agenda? What's he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like
bro.
why? Why has he done this? I want to know. Like I couldn't find anything.
All right.
On
So as I was saying earlier, it's like he is just a white boy, you know. But no one really knew who he was or what he looked like. I guess he used that to his advantage to say like, I can kill you with one hand and rob you with the other. That's a line. Yeah. It's just like he says the most outlandish shit.
It's just like a character, I think. Like a stereotype of like this hyper violent character.
So sexual in the worst way.
Yeah.
He's just a deviant.
Similar to like Tyler's early stuff, where he was just kind of saying whatever he wanted, and everyone was getting angry and saying,
"It's a bit.
You can't say that,
a bit
but
less edgy, like a bit more."
I would say it's.
Oh, it's like edgy, but it doesn't have that same like. It's not trying to shock you. Like,
I reckon the fact that he's down pitched all the vocals makes it less edgy in a way. Like if it was just his normal voice.
Yeah, I agree. It would be more obvious.
Suits into the character. Yeah. Almost like satanic.
Yeah, there's a lot of like horror sort of vibes to that album, mate.
Yeah, he influenced Suicide Boys a lot, and they've said that too.
Yeah,
true. Yeah, some of the bars in here are so funny as well.
Yeah, I
laughed out loud.
Like, she's on my dick like flies in a box of fruit. That's just like disgusting. You're imagining like rotten fruit, and the flies all over it, and that's how the girls are to him, you know. They're like, just climbing all over him. It's crazy. No, it's like he paints a picture so well by being such a disgusting cunt or such a disgusting person. So, yeah.
Slick Rick is the funniest track ever.
How funny is it?
It's so funny.
Treat him like a
I thought that was almost like too far. Even though it's like not him saying it. Because like it sounds like Slick Rick said it.
It's almost satire, I reckon. Like,
it is satire.
Like, it's just like knowing all the cliches. I reckon that's actually a difference between this album and Rodeo. So Rodeo is like, lyrics are good, but there's a lot of cliches in it. But that's just like what you're going to get on a really big hip-hop album, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas I think Lil Ugly Mane is like aware of the cliches, like as a difference, and sort of like uses it as humor a lot of ways.
Yeah,
That's it's irony.
Yeah.
Kind of genius, I think.
It's humor, but it's like he's still letting the emotion of like rage and disappointment and everyone else out, but he's doing it in a way that's kind of like He's kind of winking to the camera, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay. Your point was so true, Adam. Like comparing it to Rodeo. If Rodeo like took the piss. Okay, there's a line that I wrote down that is like so funny, but I don't know. I don't think they meant to be funny. Pray for who lost their fate and died too young. Pray for the ones I hate, the ones I love. Pray for my liver when I'm off in this club.
Wait, is that all right?
That's so relatable.
Whose bar is that?
Sick, I reckon.
What song?
I don't know why I didn't write what song it was down from. So if anyone wants to fill me in when you're listening, but so funny, funny.
That definitely is meant to be like again like winking to the camera, like
but it depends what song it is. I should have wrote down because there's a line also in the song Maria I'm Drunk when Justin Bieber's singing. It's like I just can't. It sounds so obnoxious. Like I hate that obnoxious lyric. But like when he's singing about like actual things that happened to him, I think it's really good. But when they're singing about meet me at the studio, I've been drinking all night. I hate that. I hate it. Can't get around it. The beats can't save that. It's gone too far.
I think that like with Rodeo, like the difference between like obviously Mr. Thug Isolation is like a heap self-aware album, and I think Rodeo is too, but it's like kind of in a different way. Like he's not trying to make like dumb trap bangers. He's just like doing it in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
A fresh take.
Oh, did Travis Scott, I don't know, I could be heaps wrong, but maybe like popularize or like popularized the half dead kind of like zombie vocals, where he's kind of just like keeping it at like one level. I don't know.
I think that was like more Future.
I would say like Future and even dating back to Cuddy and shit as well.
True.
Yeah.
But definitely like.
But he definitely like he was definitely like. He
put his own spin on it, definitely.
Yeah.
We kind of already touched on it, the instrumentation, just the beats and stuff and all of them.
Yeah.
But was there anything else like that, Brad or Adam, that you picked up with the instrumentation of them? Of either album?
I'm thinking, like, I remember when we were down in your bottom room, Chaff, and you were there, Haz, as well, and you played 90210 for the 90210 for the first.
Wait, I thought that was at your house.
That was at your house.
Was it my house? I thought it was at your house.
Yeah.
Okay, it was at my house. Shit. And like, and you need like Haz just convince you on that track, and that's like
I was
first
being
memory.
the biggest dickhead. I was like, shut up about this Travis Scott album. And then he played the transition in 90210, which is like incredible.
Yeah.
And I remember I sat there like, nah, this isn't shit. But then I admit I went home and like listened to it 100 times. I was wrong.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
what? I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck it.
Do you guys like the guitar, like all the guitars on Rodeo? There's like so much guitar. In the beats.
I like it.
It's sick. That's Mike Dean. He's really, really crazy on guitar.
He says he's a big fan of Tame Impala as well. Like, so you
Makes
can
a lot
kind
of
of hear
sense.
that.
Those big
It is psychedelic. It is like a psychedelic album.
Yeah.
There's heaps in Piss on Your Grave.
Yeah, I was gonna say that intro.
Big rock beat.
Yeah, it's like that. It legit comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Is that a
Easily
sample?
the most.
Or is that?
I
even
actually don't
fucking
know
know.
if that's a sample.
it.
Yeah.
It sounds like live. It sounds.
Yeah.
How long
I think
is that
it sounds
intro?
live too.
I read Piss on Your Grave was meant to be on one of Kanye's albums, apparently.
Yeah.
And
Jesus,
he traded him a song. And
It
said
probably
that
would have
has
been
to
on
be my
like
album.
Yeezus or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and when I first heard it, I was like, even though obviously Kanye's on it, my first thought was like, this sounds like
This
it's
is Kanye. Yeah.
off a Kanye
A
album.
lot of that album, like Rodeo, has heaps of Kanye influence. I think.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Piss on Your Grave made me laugh out loud.
It's very funny.
So funny.
Yeah. He says
So
it
good.
Like,
maybe one too many times.
But that's
I think that's the best part.
Yeah.
That's
I liked
another
it.
weird intersection between the two albums, you know? Piss on Your Grave is super, like, silly and just rude
Yeah.
in the same way that every Ugly Mane song is of Mr. Thug Isolation.
Yeah,
That's true.
I forgot to mention before with Slick Rick, but that beat is simply like it's a Crash Bandicoot beat. It sounds.
Oh, yeah. Womp, 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 womp.
It's actually like a CS jazz beat, I think.
Shout out CS Jazz.
That is a good
SoundCloud
point. I've
beat.
never thought about that.
Do you got any more to? I didn't write anything about the flow of these albums because I thought they were both like heaps similar to me in a way, like how the albums ran.
I actually think that this might be a weird take from me considering I chose the album. I think Rodeo could cut a few songs.
I agree.
Pretty long. It goes for over an hour.
Yeah,
Well over an
like
hour.
I think the second half lacks a bit.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But that's my only like gripe with it. But there's a few songs I don't really ever go back to.
It starts so strong as well.
Yeah,
it definitely
that
starts
might
crazy.
be part of it, that it starts
Yeah,
ridiculously
it starts
strong.
really good. Yeah, it was always going to be hard to keep that up, eh?
I think, and in terms of Mr. Thug Isolation, you know, I don't think it necessarily flows well, but I think that works in its favor.
Yeah, I think it's got more of like a mixtape vibe. Like,
Yeah.
You could shuffle this
Yeah.
album and it'll still
You could
do the
about
same
to
thing.
say that.
I've been shuffling.
Yeah, you could shuffle. Yeah, definitely.
I think Rodeo definitely flows well. Like when I was listening
Yeah, I
to it,
think so too.
I was never looking down at the actual like at my phone because I would just have it in my ear for like the whole hour. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until I like went through and realized that a lot of the songs were actually one song rather than two songs.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
a lot of
like
it's, like,
switches and stuff.
Maybe not from song to song, but like there's so many sections that
There's
it,
beat switches,
it feels like an album. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like a mixtape at all.
I think so
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
cool. All right, let's get into these segments then. First one up.
Get inked.
Get Inked is a segment where we take lyrics from the songs, one from each album, and we make a tattoo idea. So there's going to be 5 today if you boys have a couple.
I've got a Lil Ugly Mane tattoo.
Oh, really?
True.
Yeah. But
All right,
it's
well,
not
chap, you
perfect.
can kick it off then. What's your actual Lil Ugly Mane tattoo?
It's just him as a ghost. But like it's not Mr. Thug Isolation, so that doesn't count, I guess.
I think it counts. Mine don't even relate to one of mine does relate to the album.
So we did 2 each, or?
Now do one from
Whatever you
Rodeo
want.
now if you got
Yeah.
one.
Oh, one from Rodeo.
Maybe just like a piss on your grave tattoo.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Like just a little grave.
Yeah, it's like a piss stream coming down to it.
Maybe
a flower coming out of it as well. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that kind of would be sick.
That was my idea for my rodeo one. Was, have you ever seen that bumper sticker of like the little kid pissing?
Calvin, yeah.
Yeah, just that onto a coffin.
That is a good tattoo idea.
That's a good tattoo idea.
Yeah.
Good designer, Adam. God damn.
Adam, what's your Lil Ugly Mane one?
Mine was, it's a line from Bitch, I'm Lugubrious. And it is, the line is Iceberg, Snoopy, Donatello, Purple Gucci, going all grape. So it was just Snoopy and Donatello from the Ninja Turtles smoking and also drinking purple drank.
That's
with
sick.
Gucci chains.
Yes, sir.
That'd be sick.
That is crazy. All right, that is crazy, sir. You killed that. Whoa, I'm getting that.
Yeah, that's a really good tattoo.
Brad, what are yours?
Okay, mine for Rodeo. The bar is all this off rapping. Should have wrote this in Latin. Yeah.
Oh,
it's just like a big back tat of the whole like lyrics of 90210 in Latin. It's like a full back tat.
Like the whole song transcribed in Latin.
Yeah.
God damn, Brad.
Yeah, that's my end for Lil Ugly Mane. It's I might need a little bit of help with this one because I couldn't really finish it off. It's until we fall asleep. No, until we fall asleep and make some Z's like Zorro.
Whoa.
So I was thinking like someone's sleeping and you can see their dream and it's got like little, like Zorro, how he goes like, does he sleep? Maybe just a big Zorro tat, like not even related to the album.
Yeah, just Zorro.
That's pretty boss. Honestly.
That would be crazy.
It's pretty epic.
Harry, did you have ones?
I was thinking like I had the same as Adam, like the piss on your grave.
Oh, yeah,
I don't really listen to lyrics, so like.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
I don't really have one for Mr. Thug Isolation, but I would definitely get the piss on your grave. Or he has a crazy bar when it's like I might move out to Atlantis because my mind too outlandish.
Yeah.
So like
that's nice.
Something there, but.
Mine was from 90210 on Rodeo. I passed the rock to Yee. He pump faked, then passed it back. To Yee.
To Yay.
Yeah, I'm just reading it how it is. Okay, so more. Okay, do you know the photo? We're doing another basketball one. Do you know the photo when LeBron James was playing for Miami and D Wade's like running off with his arms out?
Yeah.
And LeBron's slamming it. So it's that pic, but it's just replaced D Wade with Kanye and LeBron with Travis Scott.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's
nice.
more of a portrait again.
Yeah.
And then, yee. And then Lil Ugly Mane is from Throw Damn Guns. Well, it's not a line from it, but it's pretty shit. This one, fairly average. It's it's just two guns crossed over, but they're two. It's
Oh no,
that's bad already. And then it's the two,
good.
but they're actually two novelty guns, so they have like the like paper coming out of them.
Oh, the bang. Yeah.
Yeah, it just says Lil Ugly Mane and Mr. Thug Isolation.
Right.
Pretty average.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Maybe like a big skeleton across the back holding
epic.
2 guns.
Yeah, that'd be way better.
That's better. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right,
Fattest riff.
Next segment. This is one where we just pick the part, pretty much just our favorite parts on the album. They don't necessarily have to be the fattest part, but they can be, and they can go hard. Adam, you want to kick it off?
Yeah. For Lil Ugly Mane was in Radiation, just the second like when Lil Ugly Mane when he's verse comes in and like
when the sax is just going.
Yeah, it just gets he's fat. That was my favorite part of that album. And then for Travis Scott, was Kanye's verse on "Piss on Your Grave." It just goes pretty hard.
Yeah, so it's so dumb, but good.
It's heaps dumb, but it's like nice and aggressive, so pretty fat.
Nice.
Just doesn't end as well. Brad, what's yours?
I had the Wishmaker intro.
Yeah.
Just because that is just my favorite beat, I think, off the whole
that
album.
beat's so sick.
Silly.
It's crazy. And for Rodeo, I had Piss on Your Grave as well, but I had it when Travis comes in because there's some big sound effect that comes in, almost like chops out the lyrics as well. You can hardly like hear him start. And that's when the 808 really comes in as well.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like it's super fast. I'm thinking that live would be something else.
Yeah, that would be for sure.
Chaff and Harry, what were your two? If you had,
You go.
Yeah. For Mr. Thug Isolation, in Lean Got Me Fucked Up, the start's just like, and then when the 808s come in, it's like boom, just fucks your whole speaker system up. So definitely when the 808s come in and Lean Got Me Fucked Up. And then for Rodeo, I'm just gonna have to say the 90210 transition. It's just too cool.
It's so good.
Too hot.
Yeah, that's crazy. For me, for Rodeo, probably Maria, I'm Drunk. Like when the beat really first comes in, it's like the craziest kick. And then for Mr. Thug Isolation, I think Alone in Suffering, just that whole beat. I was inspired by that beat for so long. I just love that piano sample. And then the way he brings... Wait, is that him singing on it? Or is that just like a sample?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Nice.
Mine were... Well, mine is not really like Fat from Rodeo, but it's the apple pie. It's the chords on the piano.
Yeah,
I just thought that chord progression was so sick. I think it's really
sick,
cool. Because it could have went through the whole song, and I thought it would have been pretty solid still.
Yeah.
And then Lil Ugly Mane, I had the Slick Rick Crash Bandicoot beat.
That bass is...
That whole song, it's like the vocals aren't as pitched down as the rest of the album, and there's like this big fuzzed out kick behind it. Goes pretty.
I never noticed that.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. Cool. All right, last little one. So
the ad.
We're gonna add some songs to our Spotify playlist, which you can find. It's called the Record Royale Ads. We got our top songs from the last few episodes. Now we're gonna add some more. I'll kick it off real quick. Lil Ugly Mane, Serious Shit is going in.
Yes, that's
it has to. Yeah,
that's just
serious shit. No playing, ho. Serious shit. No playing.
It's just got the best hook, and it's super jazz. Like
that bass.
That's what I was trying to say about it's such a hybrid of genres, you know. That Memphis-y hook with that crazy jazzed out, spazzed out instrumental. Yeah, it's fucked. It's crazy.
Yeah, it got me hooked on the album like straight away as well.
It's such a good opener.
Sorry. Can I bring up? What do you guys think of the first song on Mr. Thug Isolation?
Well, I can't really. I don't know if it stick out to me that much, to be honest.
I've no thoughts on it.
I skipped it in a few other listens, but on first few I listened to it. But I think Serious Shit starts the album.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All right. Because the intro is simply just white noise. So
yeah. And then Rodeo, I said it before, but Oh My Decide.
Nice.
I've had that hook. Oh my. I've had that in my head all week.
And
it's
the
so
other hook
Kid Cudi as well.
On the second half is so good as well.
Decide.
Decide.
Yeah.
The outro on that song is so pretty.
Yummy, delicious. All right, Chaff. What are your two going in the playlist?
Going in the playlist, I would have to put from Mr. Thug Isolation. I guess I'd put Mona Lisa Overdrive. Song's great. Oh no, I'll change that. I'm gonna put Looking for the Suckin' in there. A song about trying to get your penis sucked. That's going in there.
With the
with the
sample,
easily that. And Rodeo. I guess Pornography has to go in there, right? I know it's not.
I was gonna put Pornography.
It's a good
sorry, bro.
That's
There's that whole like spoken word intro and shit, but like it's still always a good listen.
Cool. Yeah, Harry. What were your two?
I'll go Twistin' because I love Denzel's verse so much. I just love like how young he sounds, and it's like so.
Do you know that is so rare?
Yeah.
That feature is like the rarest
how old
shit.
was he? Did you say?
17.
17. Yeah. So good.
Motherfuckers don't know
and I'll put Antidote, like the big single from Rodeo, because it still
Hectic.
slaps.
Yeah.
It does.
So nice.
It sure does.
Sick. Brad, what were yours?
I had Throw Them Guns for Thug Isolation. Just that violin sample's crazy. I wonder where you found that. Holy shit. That'd be like the biggest dub when he found that sample.
Oh yeah, he just knew exactly what to do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if no one else is going to put 90210, I think I will.
Gotta go.
Because it's just
gotta be.
It just has to be in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, done.
Adam.
I was gonna for Lil Ugly Mane. I was gonna go Wishmaster just because it's like the most beautiful beat.
It is.
And that's the one I've gone back to most, or maybe even Radiation. I really like that one as well. So
Weed song.
I'll go with Wishmaster. Yeah.
Okay.
And then for Travis, I was gonna go 3500, even though it's a big single, but I fucking love that track.
It's crazy,
and it's the funniest. Like, it's 3500 because that's what Kim Kardashian paid for a jacket for a 2-year-old daughter.
Have you guys seen that jacket?
That's what it's called. So I was like, that's fucking sick.
I looked it up.
Is that really what's called that?
Yeah.
Hey, the jacket is nice as well.
All the fans were saying is that how much you pay for drugs or something? Everyone was tweeting at him and he was like, nah. It was how much Kim K paid for a jacket, and that's just the most baller thing you'd ever heard.
What a flex!
Yeah, the Northwest, I think. Yeah, we'll have to get a pic because it is really nice.
Yeah, send a pic through.
Yeah,
we'll do.
Righto, there you go.
Hectic. That's some good songs. Was that your first choices songs? Well, there's some honorable mentions in there.
I was gonna go with 90210 as well.
Oh, true. There you go.
But that's the obvious one, I think.
Yeah, hectic. Yeah. Hey, we got our last segment. 2 truths and a lie. Oh. I did the first one. Brad has done last week. It's Adam's turn. So he's going to say 3 statements. 2 of them are true. 1's a lie. We're going to figure out which one's the lie. All right, take it away, Adam.
Okay, so for this week, I decided to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to read out 3 tweets. 2 of them are by Travis. 1 of them isn't. Mm-hmm. So the first one we've got is, at the moment, I'm inquiring spaceships.
Oh, inquiring.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Shit.
Sheesh. And then we got one. I woke up today and realized that planet Earth is alive, which is beautiful.
Okay,
and the third is the world is the new art school.
Whoa.
That's
Which
hard.
one of them is not Travis?
So we guess on the
we're gonna let's figure it out. When was the planet is alive? When was that tweet from? Do you have a date? Have a year?
It was 2018. I'm pretty sure. I don't have dates, but I was scrolling pretty fast, so I didn't want to do anything too current because if someone had seen it. But they're pretty much all from 2018.
Right. What was the first one again?
I think the second one.
First one was, at the moment I'm inquiring spaceships.
Did you read any of the replies or anything to him?
Yeah, there was a lot. Everyone was just like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah.
That first one's got to be real, I think.
What was number 3?
The first one's real. It's for you to have made that up, Adam.
The number 3 was, the world is the new art school.
I think it's the second one. Because that's some pretentious shit. The third one that Travis Scott would say. No offense, Travis Scott fans, but he would say.
He could be listening. We have California.
Yeah, but he would also say the planet is alive.
Yeah,
he would say that.
It's not alive. It's live.
The planet is alive.
Without an A.
Oh, true.
So live.
The world is live.
Live action.
That's so.
Which I don't know what it means.
What do you reckon he was referring to the art school as? What was his take there?
I'm no idea. It was just up there. There was nothing else going on.
Damn.
I reckon.
Second one, I'm saying.
Yeah, I reckon the first one's got to be true.
Yeah, surely.
So, art school or planets live?
I'll go the second one as well. I'll say art school's real and planets.
I'm going to say the planet is a lie as well.
I'll go the third one being a lie just to fuck it up.
Okay, so the first 2 were by Travis.
Whoa.
The third, the world is the new art school, is a Kanye tweet. So it's real, but it's just a different type of crazy.
Energy, sort of, so.
Yeah, I get that.
There you go.
That's why I picked it, because they're very similar
played,
tweets.
Hey, that was a good take. That was a good version of 2 truths and a lie. Nice stuff, Adam. Hey, guess what? We've made it to the end, and you know what happens at the end? We're going to grade these albums, baby. Let's give them a number. So, who's going to make up some numerical value on the spot? Brad?
No. Pass. It's too hard. There's too much
difficult.
to draw from.
Something Travis Scott and something Lil Ugly Mane related.
Willies. Lil Ugly Mane talks about his willy a lot.
Yeah, he does. His willies.
My willy is impressively large was my favourite line. The whole
Oh, he's got so many bars.
Alright, let's do out of 10 willies for Lil Ugly Mane and out of 10 apple pies for Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Alright, who wants to kick it off? Brad? We'll go through Rodeo first. So what's your Rodeo?
We'll do Rodeo. Okay,
apple pies.
Sweet. So I'm gonna give it. I'm leaning between a 6, 7, or an 8. If I would do if we could do half points, maybe like a 7.5. But I'll give it a 7. Just because I wouldn't give it higher, just because I think Travis as a lyricist just becomes a bit a bit what's the term?
How you going?
It just gets a bit old. What he's saying, it's just all about his come up and girls and drugs, and I would just like it to expand his palette a little bit. That's all I've got to say. But the production, he's got it down to an absolute science. I think he's like the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
For,
no, that's true. That's fact.
People to figure it out
Zeitgeist
from.
is a funny word.
Yeah, it's a good word. So I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm also giving it a 7 as well. Pretty much the exact same reasons. I thought the production and the beats were hectic. I felt like everything wasn't generic, and it kind of felt like it needed to be there, even when the songs were long. But yeah, same thing. I got over the lyrics by the end. So giving it a 7. 7 apple pies.
7 apple pies.
Mm-hmm.
Adam?
I'm going to give it an 8 apple pies, because I did really love. I thought it was a great album. Like, even though it does get a bit old, but I just love how it's so unapologetic, and it's just so like over the top as far as like I said before, it just sounds like money to me. It's just like the most grand, big thing.
Yeah.
Which I really respect. I think. Yeah. There you go.
Cool. Chaff, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going 8 as well for sure. It's to me it's just a classic, and 8's generous, I think. But I think it's aged well too, considering everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Still, you guys listened to it for the first time this year, right? When we were prepping for the app, I'm sure it still sounds as great
it's
as it
aged
did back
really.
then.
It's like impeccably actually.
Cool.
Yeah, 8.
I'm gonna give it 9.
Oh,
Nice.
Because my only fault with it is that there's a few tracks I don't go back to, and that's like really my only problem. And I feel like when I've gone back to an album like this as much as I have, like I just can't even. Fuck it, 10.
Tell him. I agree.
10.
I agree.
10 out of 10. Because I don't go back to there's not many albums I go back to as much as I go to some of the tracks on this album. So I just for that alone, it gets a 10 from me.
Give him a 10.
That's hectic. Yeah. I'm all about it.
Jesus.
Sick. All right, Brad, Mr. Thug.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give this an 8. 8 willies.
Nice and solid. That was
8
a firm
impressive willies.
Yeah.
8 what?
Willies.
Yes.
Just because I think, these are some of my favourite beats that I've heard, like in hip hop period, I think.
Yeah.
And the way he mixes, like you said, those Memphis inspirations with his like jazz influence is crazy. And I did need some like convincing, but about like what's he's about. But now that you've explained it out, I'm all about it.
Cool.
So I'm gonna give it an 8.
Nice.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, sick.
A whole bunch.
I'm giving it a 7 as well. So I'm giving both 7s because I went back to this album. Like, I can see myself going back to this album for different reasons I could listen to Rodeo for. I just thought it was so, like, I've never heard anything like it. But the lyrics, same thing, kind of like, as ridiculous as they are, it's like I laugh at them, but I couldn't get into them as much. So, different type of not being able to get into the lyrics as Rodeo, but same kind of reason. So 7 willies.
That's fair.
Adam?
I'm gonna give it 9 willies. 9 big willies. I absolutely I love both albums, but I really, really love this album, and I will listen to it like all the time from now. I think just because it's just like there's so much variety, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like any of it's out of place, and it's funny, and it's just so entertaining. Like it's not just like it kept my attention the whole time, as like crazy as it gets. But I think that's that's the point of music, isn't it? Like to entertain, and
it is very entertaining.
Wow,
well put.
I think it does it well. So there you go.
Chaff. I think I already know. Yeah,
10. Yeah, it was like one of the first albums it taught me how to rap a little bit, honestly. A lot of albums did, but that was one of 20, and those 20 albums in that pool are just instant 10s to me because they taught me something,
Yeah.
And obviously the production the whole thing's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'll never hear anything like that again.
No. Until Crater drops their next album.
Yeah.
And then we'll hear it again.
Yeah. As good as. But my issue is that now that I've given Rodeo a 10, and I don't actually like Mr. Thug Isolation less than Rodeo. So what is there to do except give it a 10?
2 10s.
Good. But I will say that I definitely haven't gone back to Mr. Thug Isolation as much as well, I've been listening to it for a long time, but I don't go back to it as much. But I think it's influential, like more influential, extremely influential actually.
It
like,
changed a lot
for rap music. It definitely deserved a 10.
That's crazy. 2 10.
I'll say this.
My guy.
I listened to this album religiously for 2 weeks at least every year.
Yep.
You know. And those 2 weeks of my life just tend to be the best and most...
The best 2 weeks.
Yeah, the best 2 weeks of my life.
You feel like the biggest boss.
I just like... were you guys perchance listening to Mr. Thug Isolation in your car?
Yeah.
Loud as fuck at night time? Did that ever happen?
Yeah.
I did it on the way.
You can just so easily hit a pedestrian just for the fun of it, you know? It's like... It's the best.
Yeah, I was driving home from work yesterday, purposefully windows down, like heaps loud.
Getting high.
So as like a statement, like pumping that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. So,
Hell yeah.
man, 2 10s, Harry. I love it. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it on the show. And we got Rodeo.
2 10s.
Let's do some quick numbers. I've already done it. We got 40 out of 50 for Rodeo. But my guy, Lil Ugly Mane's taking the crown. 44 out of 50.
Yeah.
Lil Ugly Mane.
Yeah.
Cue thunderous applause.
Well deserved.
Massive. I didn't actually expect that.
Keeps happy with that.
But I kind of did. I don't know.
I'm thank you boys for listening to it.
No, hey, thank you.
Oh,
and
thanks for tuning
Hey,
in.
we're so happy we can do this pod so we can actually have to listen to a lot of different albums. So I'm stoked on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And
awesome.
I'm very glad because I definitely will be going back to a few of these songs, like 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that's all you get out of it, like that's worth it.
Mission
anyway.
success.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on the show, boys.
Thanks
Oh,
for
Thank
having
you for
us.
having
all
us.
good.
It's
all good. Everyone go check out Craterface's new single Bankroll on all your goddamn
please.
streaming platforms. Next week on the pod, it's back to just the 3 boys, and we are doing 2 indie rock, in my opinion, classics. Absolute classics.
Maybe 2 10s from you.
What are we
Maybe
doing?
we'll have to
I don't
see.
know
We
what
got
we're
Two Door Cinema Club, Taurus History.
Whoa.
And-
Wait, is that one with Undercover Martin?
It is.
Yeah,
that is the
that's
one.
good.
And
Vampire Weekend.
Phoenix.
Oh.
How do you pronounce
yeah.
this album, Adam? Wolfgang
Wolfgang Amadeus.
Wolfgang
Phoenix.
Amadeus
Adam.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's
That'd
gonna be really
That
good.
would
I'm
be-
very
That's a
excited.
good matchup.
So yeah,
Hey,
it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Boys, can you have me back on for the Speed Bullet to Heaven episode? Whatever that may be.
It's coming.
I really want to do an episode of 2 just dog shit albums. So I reckon that
Hey,
could
don't
be
you
a
dare. You know what? I've fully done a 180 on Speed Bullet. That is a 10 from there.
Speed
No,
Bullet.
like, I swear to God, I've been listening to it so much.
It's
Same.
not a masterpiece. I'm telling you.
Shut up.
Yes,
Whatever.
it is.
Save it for the Speed Bullet to Heaven.
Yeah. We've got to find someone to put it up against that's that
Good.
great.
Borgle.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Bradley.
Good. The best album of all time. Episode.
Mhm.
Speed Bullet to Heaven versus the
Versus
Beatles.
Speedball to Heaven.
The Beatles. All right, we'll leave it there. Hey, thanks so much, boys. Everyone, listen to Two Door Cinema Club and Phoenix throughout the week. We'll see you next week. Follow us on the socials at Record Royale. Follow Craterface at Craterface the Only. Cheers, boys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Crater.
See you later.
Hit the
See you
topless
later. Bye.
beaches and see that fucking crater.